Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. If you're new here, hello, I'm Gigi. Thank you so much for stopping by. Would love it if you would stay, so please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. So as you guys can tell by the title, today we're doing something a little bit different. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of background noise in this video. It's so hot today and I turned my fan off so that there would be less background noise, but I'm suffering. So I just want you guys to know that I'm suffering for you to have good audio. Even though my window is open and you might still get some background noise, it's a lot better than with the fan on. Okay, what are we talking about? Yes, so today we're doing something a little bit different. Today I wanted to share with you guys a little story time about my LA stalker. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not usually the best storyteller because I struggle with like lingering in the details. I'm that type of person that's just like, all right, get to the point of your story. Beginning, middle, end. I don't need the rest of that nonsense. Which is ironic because I love storytime videos. They're my favorite type of YouTube video to watch. I'm gonna take a stab at it today and hopefully you guys will find it entertaining because it was a pretty scary time. I'm a little bit scared, like what if he finds me making this video? I mean, I'm a little bit nervous to put this out there because what if he's still stalking me to this day, like secretly, like I don't know about it, and he's just waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and then he sees this video and that was like the last straw for him and he's like so angry and he comes all the way to Canada in the midst of a pandemic just to get back at me for exposing him on the internet. Well, I guess that's a risk we're gonna have to take. I'm just gonna get into the story. I made some notes here so that I could linger in the details a little bit more. Okay, I'm just gonna get into it because it's probably already long. Alright, so this is the story about my Los Angeles stalker. So you're probably thinking, Gigi, how do you have a stalker from Los Angeles when you live in Canada? Just sit right there, grab your snacks, and I'm gonna tell you guys. This happened, I wanna say about 3 years ago. At the time, one of my really good friends, I'm just gonna say her real name because I talked to her before making the story and she's totally cool with me using her name. So her name is Nikki. Shout out Nikki, I know you're watching, love you. Okay, you're gonna remember all this and just squirm in the cringiness of it all. Nikki was living in LA at the time and I've known Nikki for a long time. We met in first year university and we've been just really good friends ever since. She's that type of friend that like, you just know they're always gonna be in your life in some sort of way. You know, sometimes you don't talk to them for a while, then when you guys link up again, it's like nothing has changed. You guys are still closer than ever, and I think those are the types of friends that you know you're gonna have in your life forever. I am really glad that she was there to experience this with me. So moving forward, Nikki was living in LA at the time, and I went to go visit her. I flew out to LA. The first 2 days we kind of just chill. She takes me around the city. LA is freaking massive, you guys. Like, it is huge. There are so many parts. She was staying in an Airbnb, so she had like a private, it was kind of like a laneway house, if you know what that is. It was like separate unit from the main house, and she had this like private upstairs unit, which is like a room, a washroom, a closet, and like it had like a desk and everything. So it was really good for one person to be living there and for one person to be visiting. There, I get all settled in. She takes me around the city. She shows me, you know, the Grove and where else did we go? Santa Monica Pier, you know, the Walk of Fame and all that good stuff. Best little tour guide I ever did have. I think I got there on a Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, we did all that sort of touristy stuff. And then on Friday night, we're like, okay, it's Friday night. We're in LA. Like, let's go out. So we decided to go out to the club. As a mom, if you're watching this, please turn this off right now. I don't want you to know the rest of this story because you don't need to know what I do when I travel, okay? Anyways, so yeah, we go out to the club. And so we're getting ready, you know, getting dressed, doing our makeup, doing our hair, looking cute. They're coming for me. So where was I? Yeah, so we're getting ready, doing our hair, doing our makeup, looking extra cute. Like I was saying, I was in a relationship, am still in the same relationship. You know, still gotta look good. I'm in LA, like line of celebrities, line of the Kardashians. I gotta look good, okay? Nikki was not in a relationship. She was single as a Pringle, and well, she was kind of seeing somebody at the time, but like, let's just disregard that because like, I don't know if I'm allowed to share with you guys the details of that relationship, so we're just gonna bypass that, okay? Okay. So she was kind of single, not really. She was like seeing this guy, but like not really, like nothing exclusive. So she was the single friend, I was the one in the relationship, but you know, when your friend is single and you're going out with them, you do your best to be a bomb-ass wing woman, which means no mention of your boyfriend to anybody that you meet. That could potentially buy you drinks, okay? Okay, so we weren't intentionally going out there to meet guys. Yeah, Nikki was kind of seeing someone, kind of not, nothing exclusive, so she was free to do what she wants, you know? So we're trying to look up places to go, and we started pre-drinking before, so we were already kind of lit and buzzing and in a good mood. We ended up deciding on this place called the Brickyard. It was in North Hollywood, and it was fairly close to like other places, so if it didn't work out, we could go somewhere else. So we get there, just kind of like settle in, a little warm up before we go somewhere else. A lot of this is kind of a blur because, you know, we're like already drunk a little bit, but yeah, so she calls the Uber. Uber takes us to the Brickyard. Oh, sorry, it's really hot. I have to turn the fan on. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I have to do it. Okay, so sorry about the fan background noise. I'm sorry. I tried. It is so hot. Alright, so we get to the Brickyard and we go in, and it's not like too bumping yet. So we're like, okay, we'll just like chill. We're walking around. It was a pretty cool place. Like, it was pretty big, and it had like a bunch of pool tables, which was really cool. I think we bought a drink. I really can't remember. I can't remember this part. So we're just gonna fast forward. Started talking to a few people. People seemed chill, some weirdos, and I don't remember what happened. So either Nikki got approached or I think I got approached by this slightly older looking guy. He was taller than me, a little bit like muscular, I guess, not big, but like really like muscular, like with this shorter, less muscular. I cannot remember for my life of me what his friend looked. I can barely remember what this guy looked like. Like, this was 3 years ago. One guy was really tall, muscular. One guy was really short, not so muscular. Literally looked like a comedy duo, like Kevin Hart and The Rock. Okay, let's just say it was like that. Even though they look nothing like Kevin Hart and The Rock, they're not even the same ethnicities. Just imagine that if Kevin Hart wasn't like... And neither of them were particularly good looking. In fact, they were both pretty unfortunate looking. I get approached by the taller dude, and we're gonna call him Carlos, okay? That's not his name. I do remember his name, and it's not Carlos, so we're gonna call him Carlos, okay? So Carlos approaches me, and he's trying to like just talk. I'm just like not into it, but at this point, it's early in the night. We're like, okay, like let's just entertain this for a second, get some drinks, and then ditch them when it starts getting bumping. So that's what we did. So we're talking to them. Literally, you never like have a guy talking to you at the club and you have no interest in them. Have you ever had those guys that just like talk and talk and talk and you're clearly not interested? Like, he was just going off, and I was just like, yeah, cool. Look at Nikki, she's talking to the little dude, and like same thing. I don't know how it happened, but I think they asked us to play pool, and me and Nikki are both very nice. So we're like, okay, like literally what else do we have to do? We can just go play pool with them. Why not? You know, we don't need to be rude off the back. Like, let's just go play a game of pool and then we'll dip. So we went to the pool table area, and they wanted to partner up, like Carlos with me and like the shorter guy. Let's call him Ralph. Yeah, we'll say Ralph with Nikki, okay? And we're like, no, sweetie. So me and Nikki against you little goofy looking asses, okay? We start playing pool with them, and we're still like entertaining them, but we're both kind of just like, we are so over this. And then Nikki whispers to my ear, she's like, let's leave. And I was like, yes. So guess what we said? That's right, we used that classic line that every girl knows when she's trying to escape a dude at the club. We let him know that we gotta go to the bathroom, and we'll be right back. But we weren't gonna be back. So we pulled that classic line, and we're in the bathroom. We're like, okay, so we're definitely not going back to these guys. We didn't want to talk to them. We had zero interest in talking to them. So we're like, okay, whatever. So we leave. We get out of the pool area, because the bathroom was pretty close to the pool area as far as I can remember. I could be wrong, but we just dip out of there as fast as we can. So the pool area is kind of like separate from like the bar, like where everyone is, like all the tables and things like that. So we walk out to that bar area, and we can see like, oh, it's actually starting to get really busy now. That's awesome, so cool. Like, let's go mingle, let's make some friends. So we're just like carrying on, and then we see the guys, they see us, and we're just trying to like walk really fast, get out of there. I swear, like the whole time we were in this establishment, these guys just kept following us. More so the taller one, Carlos, he just kept following us. Like, he kept eyeing us down, and it was starting to get like really irritating, because it's like, dude, take a hint. Like, we're not interested. We don't want to hang out with you. We literally dipped on you guys in the middle of a pool game. We don't have any interest in you guys. At this point, I think it's probably been like half an hour or like 45 minutes or something. that we've been avoiding them, and then we actually meet this other group of people, and there's like a bunch of guys and a couple of girls, and we're like, okay, cool. Like, we start talking to them. They seem really cool. They're around our age. They all seem more normal, and we're like, okay, cool, like normal people that we can actually have fun with. This is awesome. They invite us to come sit with them on their table. So me and Nikki go sit with them on their table. We're just talking to everyone. They're like, oh, where are you guys from? We're like, we're from Canada. They just talk to us. We're just having a little bit of fun. I don't know how long we've been sitting at the table at this point, but lo and behold, guess who shows up? Walks up right to the table. Okay, so the table is laid out like one side is against a wall, so it's sort of like a bench seating, and then one side is open with the back faces toward like where you get drinks, so like the main bar. And me and Nikki are sitting on the inner side of the table, completely enclosed by the wall and the people around us, right? So you can't just like walk up to us or like touch us or anything. We're dead in the center of this table, and to get to us, everyone would have to get out of their seats, and like you would have to walk in or we would have to walk out, okay? So we're like those seats. So who walks up and decides that it is a good idea to interrupt the conversation of this entire table? I want to say there was like 10 people there. It could have been like 6. I don't know. Like I said, a little bit drunk. Who decides that it is a great idea to come into the middle of this big ass table and interrupt this conversation and talk to the 2 people sitting in the most difficult to get to spots? Carlos and Ralph. That's who. So they approach. We are in the middle of conversation, like we're laughing, we're having a good time, we're talking to our cool new friends who I have no memory of, but I hope you guys are all doing well. They approach the table, Carlos and Ralph, and Carlos is doing most of the talking, okay? And he's talking directly to me, and I'm like, why am I so nice? Like, should I just like shut it down as soon as you came and said hello? I should have been like, goodbye. Like, no. Just like, no. 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 Okay, and trust me, this was a big lesson learned. Okay, anyways, so he approaches the table. Beelines right toward me. Although he can't get in, thank God. Thank God I was enclosed in this table, because I was getting very, very uncomfortable. Like, I was scared because the way that he would talk to me was starting to get really, really intense. Then he's like, okay, we're leaving. And we're like, cool, have a good night. Everyone at the table is kind of like silent, and they could feel the tension. They could feel how uncomfortable me and Nikki were. They could tell we did not want to talk to these people. And so they're just like, oh, like it was so cool to meet you guys. And me and Nikki are literally like, you know, when you're just like awkward, and it's so obvious to everyone that it's awkward, except for the one guy that's trying to hit on you, and like he just does not understand that you're not into it. Like, why is it so difficult for you to understand? And I don't know why at this point. I should have just been like, dude, I have a boyfriend. But I felt like he was gonna be like, well, why were you talking to me in the beginning? It's so unfair that girls cannot even have a conversation with a guy without the guy thinking that they're interested in them, because I gave him no signs that I was interested in him. Like, I was just being nice, having friendly conversation. So at this point I'm like, okay, tell him you have a boyfriend, because then he'll shut up. Then I'm like, no, but then what if he gets mad and I'm in another country, and what if he gets really angry at me and I don't know what to do because he seems really scary? So like, just like say goodbye and you'll never have to see him again. Okay? Okay, so that's what's going on in my head. So he's talking. And we're like, okay, cool, like, have a good night. They're like, yeah, we're going over to, like, this other place. Like, you guys want to come? And then the whole table is kind of, like, awkwardly laughing, because they already know what we're going to say. We're going to say, hell no. We don't want to go with you guys. So we look at each other, we're like, no, we're good here. Like, you guys go. Have a good night. See you never. So we tell them, no, we're good. You guys go. Have a good night. We don't say see you never, but in our heads we're like, see you never. So he's continuing to talk to us, trying to be like, come on, let's go. And we're like, it got to a point where like the guys were like, oh, like the other guys at the table, like it wasn't all guys, it was girls too, but like, you know how guys are just more vocal, so they kind of started being like, hey, like, no, I think they're good here, like they're gonna stay here. And so I think this kind of irritated Carlos a little bit more. He just had like an aggressive persona about him, and so did Ralph a little bit. Later on in the night, he was telling me about how he was really grabby, and first of all, okay, I'm just gonna say, guys, stop grabbing girls at the club, stop grabbing girls at the store, stop grabbing girls in general, okay? It's not cool. Stop, just stop. It's not okay. Back to the story. So the guys are like, no, they're cool, they're chill here. Like, you guys go, right? Have a good night. And then they're about to leave, and we're like, cool, dodged a freaking bullet. Like, they're out the door. We can finally let loose, have a good night, and stop having to worry about avoiding them all night. But Gigi, sweetie, you thought it was that easy? No. It was not. You thought it was that easy, that you're just gonna be like, bye-bye, see you never, and he's gonna go? No. Because of course, he's gonna walk back. He's gonna walk back and ask, can I have your number? So, he walks back. And he asked me, could I have it? Could I have it? Can I get your number? It was a silent. The whole table was like I said, I was scared. He gives me his phone. I put in my number, my real number. Why? One, I was drunk. Two, I've had instances where like I put in a fake number and they'll try to call me right there and it doesn't ring, and then either they're like, okay, whatever, or they're kind of aggressive about it. And here would have been a great opportunity to be like, I have a boyfriend. But again, I didn't say that. Why? I'm sorry. All right, Nathan, I'm so sorry. You already know all this. So I put in my number, and I'm like, I'm gonna put in my number. He's gonna call me and then confirm that it's my number. Done. Just never talk to him again, okay? Just never, ever, ever talk to him again. So I put in my number, and thank God I put in my real number because he called it. He called it, checked out. He was like, okay. Because maybe if I didn't put in my real number, he would have, I feel like he would have just kept pressuring me. So he took my number, dipped, and I was like, that was the worst. And I remember the table just having a good laugh about it. I started telling them like how these guys had been badgering us all night. Like, I didn't go into the full detail in this story, but just believe me, they were following us around the whole time that they were there. And then we have like a good rest of the night, nothing really to report there. We get back home to Nikki's place. We're lit at this point. We're just having a good time. And then I get a text from a random number. And I had kind of forgotten about him at this point. And it was somebody who was just like, I forgot what they said. It was just like, hey, it was nice to meet you. Have a good night. I was like to Nikki, oh, I got this random text. She was like, oh, it's probably that guy. So I was like, oh, okay. Pass out. I wake up to a bunch of messages. Like, okay, maybe it was like 5, but 5. Let's just go with 5. Because I never thought I would be telling the story like this on YouTube to anyone, so I don't have any of these messages saved because it was like 3 years ago. But something along the lines of like, hi, it was so nice to meet you. I think we really had something special. I'm like, we had something special? What? How did we have something special? How? Just like nobody ever talked to you in your life that you thought that me being nice to you was something special? Because it wasn't. Oh, I still have about 2 days left in LA at this point. And this guy continues to text me the whole trip. And it's getting creepy. So the first day, he's like still messaging. I did not reply. He's talking about how he thought we had something special, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was so fun to meet you. Like, you're so great. And then he starts calling me Miss Canada, which somehow made it even creepier. So I didn't reply. I actually blocked his number. So I blocked that number. And then I get a text from another number. At first, I didn't know it was him. But then he used the line Miss Canada. And I was like, block this number too. I think once or twice he tried to call me while I was in LA. At this point, it was just annoying because I was like, okay, this dude needs to like take a hint. Just like leave me alone. 2 days later, I fly back home, okay? Still getting like random text messages here and there for the next couple of weeks. Just kept ignoring, okay? Then a few months pass, okay? Months. Not days, not weeks, months. And I'm sound asleep in my bed. I get a call, and I don't remember what time it is. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. I get a call in the middle of the night from a number I don't recognize. And at this point, all of that stuff was so behind me. I thought that was over. It was not even something that would come to the top of my mind. So I'm like, why am I getting this call from this random number in the middle of the night? I thought it was an emergency. I thought it was one of my friends, maybe something happened and they didn't have their phone, they needed help. So I was like, okay, I answer the phone. I go, hello, and silence at first, okay? So I was like, hello, and then,
hello.
And I was like, hi, who is this? Silence. I don't say anything either.
Oh, I'm not sure if you remember me, but...
And right then, the voice clicked in my head. I got so scared. I hung up. I hung up before he could finish that sentence. My heart started racing. I was afraid because I realized who this dude was. It was freaking Carlos calling me months later at like 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm so scared at this point. Like, I thought I was done with this. I thought I was done with you. Why are you coming back into my life? Why? He tried to call me back a couple of times. I blocked that number. Then I got a call from a different number. And these were all LA US numbers. So I ignored that number too. Blocked both of those numbers, right? And then I told my boyfriend about this the next day. First of all, he was very mad at me for like giving my number out, even though I had already told him about it like right after my trip. Because at first I thought it was a funny story. So I was like, yeah, look what happened. He's like, why'd you give him your number? And I was like, you're right. But yeah, so I told him about this and I was like, this dude called me and I'm very scared. And he was like, okay, like next time he calls, I'll answer the phone. And I was like, cool, like sweet, yes, do that. And I was so scared. Before I got another call, I literally went on Instagram, searched up this guy. Like I had to like really search for this guy, blocked him before he could find me, tried to find him on Facebook, blocked him before he could find me. And those are like the only 2 social medias that I really used at the time. So I was like, okay, you're blocked. Don't ever find me. Don't ever contact me. I don't want you to know where I live or like what I'm doing. Through the following weeks, kept getting random calls from random numbers and it was him, and every time he called, my boyfriend was not around. It's like he knew. It's like he knew I was alone and I was vulnerable. He knew. Like, what? Is he watching me? I don't know. Kept calling. Block, 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 block. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to change my number at this point because this is getting to like, this is a level of stalker that I don't even know how to comprehend it. Like, why are you calling me? We don't even know each other. Seriously thinking about changing my number at this point. I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to change my number. Going on for now for like a few weeks. In the middle of the night, I get another call. And this time I was just like half asleep. I didn't even think about it and I just answered my phone. Like I didn't even look who called me because like I always answer my phone when I'm sleeping. And if the volume is on, I will answer it because you just never know if someone needs your help, right? So I answer the phone.
Hi, is this Miss Canada?
Hell no! No, it is not, Miss Canada. Stop calling me. Hang up, block the number. Block, 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 block every number that is calling me. Eventually, the call stopped. So I want to say this went on for like six or 7 months. It went on for a long time. And I just didn't want to change my number. I've had this number since high school. I just did not want to change my number because it's just, I love my number. I love my phone number. It's just so easy to remember, which sucks because I'm sure Carlos remembers it well. Oh, he probably remembers it to this day. Eventually the call stopped and I haven't heard from him since. Let me show you guys like the amount of blocked calls that are on my phone. Yeah, eventually they just stopped. Thank God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They finally stopped and I haven't heard from him since. So I don't know if he died. I don't know if he broke his phone. I don't know what happened to him. I don't care. Just never contact me again. Thank you. That is the end of my very first story time. That is the story how I went to Los Angeles and came home with a stalker. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it gave you a laugh and hope I taught you guys a very valuable lesson about safety and not talking to strangers, because I know it taught me a very good lesson and I will never, ever, ever do that again. Okay? Okay. Alright guys, well I hope you guys liked the story, and if you did, give this video a big thumbs up. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!